Notre Dame de Paris, meaning Our Lady of Paris, is located in the 4th arrondissement of Paris, France. The cathedral is roughly 128 meters in length, 12 meters wide in the nave.
Notre Dame is not only a prime example of Gothic architecture, but of French Gothic architecture specifically. A big indicator of French Gothic architecture is height, which is clearly shown in Notre Dame's slim and tall silhouette. Unlike other Gothic architecture at the time, French churches were very unified. You can find the three portals surrounded by a rose window with two large towers on almost all Gothic French churches, which are typically attributes seen as signifiers of only Notre Dame.
The cathedral is almost exclusively limestone, now called Corville stone. Builders examined the qualities of each piece of stone in order to use the most durable for foundation and the best of quality for sculpture. Wood was the original frame, but was replaced with concrete after being burned down in 1481 and then again in World War I. Wood is exclusively found as the doors now. All the sculptures and most of the exterior was originally covered in paint, which has long since flaked off.
English Goth was more concerned with horizontals, unlike vertical obsessed French. As compressed and slim as Notre Dame is, the attribute was pushed even farther by German, Polish, and Czech Gothic style, which is known for their especially tall towers, which only emphasize this compressed quality. Notre Dame is also different from Italian Gothic in that it's exclusively made of one color stone. Italian Gothic style was known for its use of polychrome, with brick and marble being commonly used.
A signature of Gothic architecture, the cathedral was one of the first in the world to use the flying buttress. The flying buttress was not in the original plans, but was built later on when fractures appeared on the upper walls because of the weight of the vault. The cathedral is also famous for its large amount of exterior sculptures and gargoyles, which serve the purpose of water drainage and extra support pillars. A key factor to the cathedral's appearance is because of the buttress and other stone supports. This made the walls mostly non-structural, leaving a lot of room for stained glass. Its cruciform plan, elevated nave, transept, and tower were borrowed from 11th century Romanesque architecture, but its pointed arches and ribbed vaulting were strictly Gothic.
The official ceremony of the cathedral's beginnings, with either Bishop Celly or Pope Alexander III laying the first foundation stone, was in 1160. The very last element were not completed until 1345, almost 2 decades after the first stone was laid. Not one but two bishops passed during the construction, with Bishop Celly, the commissioner of the church, who spent most of his wealth and life dedicated to the project, did not live to see Notre Dame completed. Because of the almost endless construction time, many different architects had a hand in the creation of the church. Evidence of their different styles can be seen at different heights of the west front and towers. In the mid-13th century, the transepts were remodeled to fit the latest Renaissance style, which was the only major design change made to the buildings. Besides time, there was no issue with the construction of the church. However, being erected, the church has certainly weathered its fair share of battles. By the time Napoleon took his seat as the Emperor of France, the church was on edge of collapse, and if it was not for Napoleon himself, the cathedral would have never gotten the much-needed repair.
Notre Dame was notably one of the very first Gothic churches to use the flying buttress, which is now known as a staple of Gothic architecture. It is considered one of the finest examples of French architecture in the world. Any later architect or artist that has been inspired by Gothic architecture has at some point looked toward Notre Dame. In the 1850s, Gothic style started to make a comeback in Europe, with Big Ben in London being evidence of that. An architect named Eugene Viollet-le-Duc was a huge proprietor of Gothic revival, teaching designers how to apply Gothic style to more modern materials like cast iron. He famously restored Notre Dame. Many of the admired Gothic gargoyles on the church's facade were actually created by Viollet-le-Duc and not created in the Gothic period at all.
After Maurice de Sully officially decided to give Paris a descending cathedral built to match the elegance of France's capital, it should be noted that not only did the church and other notable Paris residents help in the construction, but most of the entire population participated. This is evidence of the amount of pride most Parisians have for one of their city's most formidable symbols. Many important days in Paris's and the world's history have taken place at Notre Dame, including Napoleon's crowning as Emperor of France. There is not much evidence of how the overall public reacted to the cathedral's debut nearly 100 years after its conception. The care that has been taken to maintain the building and the building's beauty itself should serve as a testament to how beloved it is to the French public.